Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in JustFlight's Piper Arrow 3. We have a 60 nautical mile flight from Hotel Victor November, Tweed, New Haven to Tango Echo Bravo, Teterboro. Both of those are payware airports. New Haven is by Orbix and Teterboro is by Flightbeam Studios. We will be flying VFR with flight following, but we'll be doing a practice instrument approach using a VOR approach to Teterboro. Should be a fun flight as always, so let's hop into the pilot's seat and get started. New Haven by Orbix looks fantastic. There's plenty of photogrammetry all along the coastline, so it should make for a scenic flight to Teterboro. You can see we're flying a different livery than normal. This is the blue livery, and I've changed the interior to be blue as well. We'll also be flying with the GNS 530 to help us out with this flight. Alright, we'll run through the flight brief as we get started. So we will be departing New Haven and flying west over Bridgeport using their VOR to navigate to Teterboro. At Teterboro, we're going to fly a practice instrument approach using the VOR approach for runway 24. We'll need to hit our initial approach fix of AEI at 2,000 feet and then descend to 1,500 for angle. We'll use DME of 10.5 and 5.5 along the 231 radial of Teterboro to know that we hit those locations. We've chosen the 267 radial from Bridgeport because it will intercept Teterboro exactly at our initial approach fix. There's a 3-degree difference between the runway and the VOR headings, so it should be nearly straight in. I've got CDI 2 dialed into Bridgeport VOR with our initial course of 254, and now I'm dialing in CDI 1 to Teterboro VOR with our VOR approach heading of 231. The Bridgeport heading will take me across the Hudson just north of Alpine Tower, and that is where I will intercept AEIA, and I don't know how you say that, but the initial approach fix at 2,000. Even though we have a GPS, we're going to fly this with the VOR and DME because that is what we're practicing. So I'll get the DME turned on here, and we've got all the distances to and from Bridgeport and along the Teterboro radial worked out so that we know where we're at. Alright, let's pick up flight following. New Haven ground, Piper 359 Golf Charlie with information India. We are a P28A slant golf. Request flight following destination Tango Echo Bravo Teterboro at 2,500. Squawk 2313 departure 124075 November 359 Golf Charlie. New Haven ground, Piper 359 Golf Charlie, east ramp for west departure, taxi, tower run up. Taxi straight ahead, tower run up, Piper 359 Golf Charlie. That one's easy, I can see it, it's straight ahead.
Fuel pressure. Cherokee 316, midfield, left downwind, touch and go.
New Haven ground, Piper 9 Golf Charlie, continue. Taxi runway 20 via Foxtrot Alpha, Piper 9 Golf Charlie. Lights, camera, action. We'll get everything set up here. New Haven Tower, Piper 359 Golf Charlie, holding short, runway 20. Cleared for departure, runway 20, Piper 359 Golf Charlie. Runway is clear. Cleared to the right. Cleared straight ahead. Alright, and we are off.
We have information to that.
I am running with the modded Garmin 530. It adds a bunch of features. So far so good, I really like it. If nothing else, it changes it so it tracks up, which is much better than it drives me crazy when the airplane turns around on the Garmin. Okay, the Piper has been a little squirrely on my last couple takeoffs, so let's see how it does on this one. Getting a little fishy here. Well, it wasn't too bad. Get the gear up. In my last video, I forgot to pull the gear up until I was, I don't know, maybe 1,500 feet. So we're heading straight out to sea here. Once we get to 400, we'll make our initial turn towards Bridgeport. And we're going to be climbing to 2,500, which is just the top of their airspace. We do have flight following though, so the transition will be handled since it's a Class Delta via flight following if we need to. Okay, we've just flipped on the autopilot coupled to nav to CDI, so we'll follow the radial to Bridgeport. So let's sit back and enjoy some of that awesome flight simulator scenery. That worked pretty well. I have had trouble in Microsoft Flight Simulator with VOR's tracking correctly. So part of the reason I wanted the Garmin was so that I could compare the line I was tracking versus the waypoints in the Garmin. I was definitely coming in at an angle versus the runway. Something was off on the VOR or something was off in my settings. Not sure, but had to probably turn maybe 15 to 20 degrees on final, when it should have been 3. The Piper's autopilot does not have pitch controls, so I needed to manage that all with trim and throttle to hit those altitudes, and it actually worked surprisingly well. I was right on at the 1500 mark for 5.5 DME, so that was kind of cool to hand fly that. So if you enjoy content like this, be sure to leave me a comment, click that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, thanks a lot for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.